Hello, my name is Dan Locke, and I'm the director of SpineAlign AI Golf Coaching System. I'm also a PGA certified golf instructor and the owner of Locke Golf Academy in South Lyon, Michigan. I want to talk to you about thin shots. A thin shot in golf is when the club face strikes the ball high or near or above the equator instead of the bottom of the ball, in the sweet spot. The result in a low, weak shot that lacks distance and often has a jarring, stinging sensation in the hands due to the leading edge hitting the ball. You will see a lot of information about swing faults and correcting the thin shot. Taking the club back too far outside or inside, arms separating from the body, coming over the top in the downswing, not rotating properly, swinging too fast, poor weight transfer, early release, body and head moving ahead of the ball. You'll also hear a lot of advice on fixing the thin shots, such as placing the ball further back in your stance, staying down more, change your takeaway, strengthen your grip, close your stance, work on your hand mechanics. While the faults are real, the fixes are often temporary and do not correct the real problem. Most golfers chase fixes that address symptoms, not causes. SpineAlign corrects your thin shots by focusing on fundamental body angles and correcting them in the right sequence. It always starts with the most important part of your swing, your spine angle. Thin shots result because of incorrect body angles and that disrupt the balance, the sequencing, and the rotation. The spine angle is the foundation of this sequence. The SpineAlign app and training accessories remove the guesswork by helping you learn and achieve the correct critical angles, your hips, your spine, and your shoulders. I recommend that you watch all of our Golf Academy lesson videos to learn these fundamentals. Let's talk about the leading cause of thin shots, early extension. What I want to try to do is demonstrate the importance of staying in spine angle all the way through the swing. So first thing we want to do is zero out our unit. Zero. Once we've heard the audible bow to the ball, and you'll see that this puts you in the proper spine angle to hit the ball. Now, if I lift at any time during the swing, I'm going to lose that audible feedback. So when we're practicing our swing, we want to make sure that when we get back to impact, we keep that audible feedback all the way through. If all of a sudden I'm getting back here at impact, look at how much that brings my golf club off the ground. Now I'm 2 inches higher than when I started. So you can almost practice this by staying in a static position and coming out of spine angle. Look what happens. When I come from here, where I'm in the proper position, all of a sudden my butt comes in and I go into early extension. That means I'm standing up during the swing. You can also practice this doing a full swing. All right, let's talk about another reason that a lot of people either hit thin shots or fat shots. I think you can have both of those with doing a reverse pivot. When people reverse pivot, what you're essentially doing is you're changing the arc of the impact position of the club. So when we take the golf club back and we're in our spine angle position and our hips move over and we go into what's called a reverse pivot, you're going to lose that audible feedback. If we do it properly and we turn our shoulders, instead of letting our body go into reverse pivot where the hips move over, you're going to be able to practice that by properly turning your shoulders. Now, let's talk about what happens in a reverse pivot. When we pivot back, okay, the shoulders act as almost like a teeter-totter. So when I pivot through, or my hips move back in the backswing and then forward in the downswing, what that does is that makes the club hit behind the ball, moving the impact position of the golf club. If you don't hit behind the ball, chances are that golf club is going to come up and hit above the equator on the ball. So, when we're swinging like that and we're doing this reverse pivot back and forth, what's happening is we're not turning our shoulders properly. We're not staying in spine angle. We're also not using our lower body properly. Now, if we practice with the app and we turn our shoulders properly and make sure that we're hitting these positions and staying in spine angle, the reverse pivot's going to go away and you're going to hit the ball great. Let's talk about another cause that can happen because of the body moving too far forward in the downswing. When we move our swing center too much in the downswing, it means we're transferring too much weight. A lot of times when I see people do that, what happens is they'll hit the top of the ball. So when we're practicing this, we can really use the app with the hip belt on, because this is going to teach us to transfer our weight properly. So as an example, when I take my swing and I can hear this audible feedback, my hips are turning properly and I'm transferring weight properly. Now, if all of a sudden I'm transferring too much weight and I'm not turning my hips properly, look what happens. I'm swaying over and my swing center is moving too much to the ball. So I want to make sure that when I'm practicing with the hip belt, that I'm turning my hips properly, both in the backswing and the follow through. What causes us to hit the top of the ball is when we have too much swing center moving towards the target. So in this example, what happens is if I push too much and get over here, I'm going to get back to the ball a little bit early and I'm going to hit the top of that ball. So that means that my swing center is moving too much into the impact position. I want to make sure that I turn properly. So, if this was done properly, what we want to feel is that when we go back, we turn our hips, we should be able to hear the audible feedback. And as we come down, we should be able to hear the audible feedback on the other side of the ball. If we practice this with the hip belt and the app, it's really going to help you make great contact.
Ready to fix your golf swing the right way? Visit www.SpineAlignGolf.com and get free access to the complete SpineAlign Golf Academy lesson program.